Hey, high school literacy leaders, this is DLC Foster Yankee, and I would like to welcome you back to another episode of Curriculum Chats. In this video, I'll be discussing Section 1, Lesson 3, and Artificial Intelligence. So as always, we're going to kick it off with the goals, tips, and notes for this lesson. Students are making and correcting or confirming predictions about the study of artificial intelligence in Life in 2030, using text features, characteristics of the genre, and structure. We're also critiquing and evaluating characteristics and structural elements of the overview of artificial intelligence in Life in 2030, such as clear thesis, effective supporting evidence, pertinent examples, commentary, summary, and conclusion. We'll also critique and evaluate characteristics and structural elements of artificial intelligence in Life in 2030, such as the relationship between organizational design and author's purpose, focusing briefly on the overview information for the rest of this lesson. The texts for this lesson are a 6-minute intro to AI and artificial intelligence in Life in 2030. For the materials for this lesson, we have the Artificial Intelligence and Life in 2030 handout, attending to details for vocabulary journal, annotating and note-taking reference guide, and Artificial Intelligence, Section 1, Lesson 3, question set. In this lesson's 4 activities, students continue to consider the question, what is artificial intelligence? They will continue their research by beginning their in-depth reading of artificial intelligence in Life in 2030, and learn a strategy for how to read scientific reports and research papers, as well as practice this technique as a class. This lesson begins where Lesson 2 left off, the students sharing the Attend to Details tool they completed in their assigned cornerstone instrument of AI with their small groups and listening. As they listen to their group members share their Attending to Details tools, students take notes about the other instruments in their learning log, considering the homework question. What are the reasons your chosen instrument is a cornerstone instrument of AI? Following their brief introduction to artificial intelligence with a 6-minute intro to AI, students take a deeper dive into different areas of AI. They take 2 minutes to look over artificial intelligence in Life in 2030, which describes a 100-year effort to investigate and predict how artificial intelligence can be integrated into everything humans do. They respond to the questions on the screen before turning to their elbow partner and talking about what they noticed. Teachers might steer conversations towards specific text features, such as section headings and subheadings, bolding, and italic. So students become familiar with how to skim a study and comprehend the gist of the section before reading more technical text. All about the strategy of previewing the text. Use no text features before we dive into it. Once students have had an opportunity to discuss with their elbow partner, class discusses the question on the screen. How will your understanding of the text features of the study inform how you read the text? Next, students practice the skimming technique with the preface of Artificial Intelligence in Life in 2030 for 2 minutes. After skimming, they should be able to respond to the question on the screen. What is the overarching purpose of artificial intelligence in Life in 2030? Per the teaching notes, depending on the makeup of their class, teachers might model this skimming strategy with the preface, then skim the executive summary of the whole class in an I do, we do format. For activity 3, students practice the skim, read, and interpret technique for reading research studies, using the overview of artificial intelligence in Life in 2030. For the first step, class responds to the questions on the screen, circling or underlining the claims and topics of the skimming technique. Then, the class unpacks the first claim, circling any of the words in the claim, listing them on the board, and defining them as a class. Students write down the words and definitions in the vocabulary. After the words have been defined, they turn to their elbow partner and determine how they would paraphrase the first claim, then share and compare their paraphrases as a class. The class reads the first 3 paragraphs of the overview. Then students reread and annotate the paragraphs, keeping the following questions on the screen defined. Further teaching notes: during the reread, the text is divided into small chunks in order to focus student analysis of important ideas. Depending on students' ability to grapple with the text, the teacher might direct them to reread multiple times. Finally, students complete the interpret step. After rereading the first 3 paragraphs, they turn to their elbow partner and discuss the question on the screen using information from the first 3 paragraphs to respond to the question. This activity concludes with students sharing their answers to the class. This lesson concludes with students unpacking Claim 2, Claim 4, or Claim 5 of Artificial Intelligence in Life in 2030 as assigned by their teacher. They examine their assigned claim and related questions by accessing the Artificial Intelligence in Life in 2030 claims handout. For their assigned claim, students circle any unfamiliar words in the claim and define them in the vocabulary panel. After the words have been defined, they paraphrase the claim. Then read and reread their assigned section of text in response to the questions for that claim. Students should be prepared to share their responses with other students who have examined the same claim in the next lesson. Further teaching notes: teachers might assign groups of 3 or 6 to each claim, 1 student per claim or 2 students per claim. Students will be completing this assignment individually, but will meet with those with the same claims in the next lesson. Intentional grouping will definitely be beneficial in this exercise. So that concludes lesson 3 and brings us to our cub. Students will know the main claims and topics discussed in artificial intelligence and life in 2030. They'll understand the changing relationship between machines and humans, and be able to make incorrect or confirmed predictions about the study artificial intelligence and life in 2030 by discussing the question: how will people's future relationships with machines become ever more nuanced, fluid, and personalized with an elbow partner? That concludes our video for lesson 3. Don't forget to subscribe so you never have to worry about missing out on an episode. See you in the next video.